Today I'm going to show you something that is completely new to me. It is this light tent. It is an OrangeMonkie, best name ever, right? Folio360. And it's new to me because I've never used a light tent before. This is an all-in-one light tent setup for photographing small-ish items. I mean, this thing includes everything. It is totally turnkey. It has the light tent, it has the lighting, it has the backdrops, it has the turntable, and it even has an app that you can use to kind of automate everything when you don't want to manually do things. I'll explain that more later. So anyway, I'm going to review it today. I did show you how to set this thing up in a previous video I posted maybe, I don't know, a week or so ago. So I asked you all for questions in that video. There's a link to it up above if you want to see the setup, but I'm going to answer your questions now in this review because you asked a whole bunch of great questions, some questions that I really hadn't even thought of. And so let's answer those. I've got my computer right here. And then there's a couple things you guys didn't ask about, but I will tell you about. So let's get started. The first comment was very interesting gadget. I know, right? Better than my improvised white drape, which I got to steam over and over to get a smooth background. I wonder if there's limitation to how big the object can be before it distorts the illumination condition. What is the biggest size product that can be? Oh, and then there was another person that asked about the size. First of all, the first person mentioned using a white drape and having to steam it and stuff. This white backdrop is like kind of a thickish plastic material, so definitely no wrinkles unless you like really crease it. It's really nice. I want to I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's like, you know, kind of a hard plastic. So there is that. Oh, how big can something be? I took photos of this guy. We're dressed alike today. And it was fine. There's actually quite a bit of room in here. So you could definitely, depending on what kind of lighting you want, because there's lights on the sides and there's light in the top. Kind of depending on how the lighting you want, what kind of effect you want, that'll depend on how big your item is. I can say that this guy, this Lego Boba Fett, was perfectly fine. And I probably could have had something, you know, even quite a bit taller and it would have been fine. So I don't have an exact number of inches for you, but this thing has a lot of space inside of it. Next question. This person had a few questions. Different background colors, best suited lenses, and a comparison with different lenses. Any port editing tips? Many thanks. Different background colors. Let's tackle that one first. There is white that it comes with, this white plastic, and then it also comes with a black kind of velvety material backdrop. And I used both of them. They're both great. And yeah, those are the two backdrops that they come with, a black and a white. And then what were the other question? Best suited lenses and like a comparison with different lenses, or I don't know what port editing tips means. Do you mean portraits or do you mean like post? Okay, I'm going to say you just mean editing. Best lenses, that's going to completely depend on your photography and what you're taking a picture of and what your style is. I know that I used my Nikon D810 and the 105mm f2.8 lens, D lens. It's an oldie but a goodie. But I also used my phone. So two very different lenses used, and they were both fine. And then editing tips, I didn't really do anything. In the app, when I was using my phone during the testing, I cropped it a little bit, cropped the actual scene, but that was it. So again, those kind of tips, that's just going to depend on your personal style. I found that I was able to completely blow out the backdrop, in this white situation, and wouldn't have had to do anything in post-processing. And then when I was using the black, again, it was the opposite. It was completely black. So I wouldn't have had to do anything special in that case either. I hope that answered your question. Questions. And then moving on to, I'm pretty interested in small portable product / item photography setups like this. This person has like something larger, but it's a pain to set up, so he never uses it. And in terms of space it takes up and ease of use, my questions are these. How durable is it? How easy is it to clean? How compact does it get when it's broken down and stored? Do you feel like it's a good value for its cost? How hard or easy would it be to add different colored backdrops inside of it? These are such good questions, you guys. Let's see. The space it takes up. It's a decent size when it's all set up. When it is all folded down, it's really small. It reminds me of an art portfolio. It reminds me of the art portfolios that I would see art students walking around with when I was taking art history classes. I was always so jealous of them. So I do feel a little cool walking around with this, but you know, it's about that big. And then how durable is it? It seems pretty durable. I've actually traveled with it so far, and I tried to be careful with it, but it's a pretty thick, material. Seems like you could bang it around a little bit and it would be okay. And how easy is it to clean? Very easy, especially with this white plasticky backdrop. Like, I don't know what OrangeMonkie would think about this, but I would probably say I could use any sort of those pre-moistened cleaning wipes that you get, or even maybe, I don't know, just a sponge on it, I think would clean it all up. I haven't had any issues with it. It doesn't seem to when I've used stuff on it, it doesn't seem to get drag marks or anything like that left on it. So I've been good there. And do I feel like it's a good value for its cost? I really do, because it comes with so much and it's all integrated. And then I will get to the app later on, but I think it adds a lot of value because of how easy it was to set up and how much use there is within the app as well. So yeah, I think that the fact that it's all in one and that it's so easy to use set it really far apart from the other ones that I have looked at. I've used any other ones, so I don't know for sure, but at least the ones I've looked at, this one seems a lot easier. So yeah, the answer is yes. And then how hard or easy would it be to add a different colored backdrop inside of it? Oh my gosh, it would be so easy. There's Velcro pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Velcro pieces, and you could get, I suppose, any fabric you want or any material you wanted and just cut it to size and attach some Velcro on the back of it, and it would work just fine. Next question is, I do a lot of product photography. This is probably a good beginner kit, but you're going to want a better setup when you get serious. If you are just interested in images of stuff you made to sell on your website, probably good enough. I don't agree with this. There's no question there, but I wanted to address it because I think that can be a common misconception, that you have to have all of the top of the line equipment every time to make any sort of quality work. And I just don't think that's true. With doing product photography or macro photography, you can certainly get more complicated. You can certainly do more complicated lighting setups and different backgrounds and different angles and all sorts of things. However, for what this is, I've been getting some great photos. I have actually used this and I'm impressed. I'm going to be definitely using it in my future work. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's pretty good. And one thing that I have not mentioned about the lights that are in here, I did say there are 3 lights, but these lights are all dimmable pretty much independently. So the top one and the side ones are independently dimmable. At one point, I unplugged one of the lights and I turned off the top light and I just had one light on. And so I got this really cool side light effect. You can also move these lights. They're just stuck on here with the magnet. So you can move them any way you want to customize the lighting situation. So like I said, there are certainly more complicated setups. There are certainly things that you may want to do that, maybe you couldn't do with this, but I don't know. This is pretty good for everything I've thrown at it so far. And then next question is a great one. How powerful are these lights? Since I was just talking about them. This person says you should test at which f-stop one can shoot if ISO is set to 100 and shutter speed at, say, 1/100th. Do I need to be at f1.8 or can it be at f5.6 or f11? Okay, so first, before I actually get into that, I want to say that while you may want to use a shutter speed of 1/100th, you don't have to, because a lot of the time, maybe most of the time, you're going to be using a tripod, so you can slow the shutter speed down as much as you want to get more light into your camera. So, you know, that being said, I did do this test. In fact, I spent some time doing it to see what kind of shutter speeds I could get, what kinds of apertures I could use at the base ISO and still get, you know, enough light. So I tried this using my D810 and the 105mm f2.8D lens, and I ran through several different shutter speed and aperture combinations, which you're seeing on the screen now. First, I tried using this with all of the lights powered on full power. Then I tried different combinations. I turned off 2 of the lights at some point and just used that one side light, and I always found it to be enough light. So I'm actually pretty impressed with the power output. Next question. Neat product. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. You're welcome. It is awesome. I think this could be suitable for macro images of insects in my garden. And oh, he says it always seems to funnel the wind. I assume his garden gets very windy. He says, cover the front with a sheet of thin, flexible, transparent plastic with a circle cut out for the macro lens hood, and it's a winner. So my query for your test is, how stable is it in a light/gentle breeze? Well, I think that's an awesome idea. I didn't do that. I didn't put plastic in front of it or any pane of anything in front of it, but I did kind of mess around with it in my studio. I pushed it around a little bit to see how much wiggle it had. So depending on how much wind you have, that's about the amount of, you know, pushing around I did with it. So it was pretty sturdy. And as I actually kind of paid attention to how the lights were inside when I was pushing it around, and the lighting did pretty good. I mean, obviously on the sides it changed a little bit, but lighting did pretty good. It stayed pretty even in that center section, definitely all around the turntable. So hopefully that answers your question. Okay, now on to the things that you guys did not actually ask about, but I want to tell you all about. First, the app. I am telling you, this app is amazing. I have had so many supposedly, you know, connected things, gadgets, from cameras to, you know, all sorts of different things that are supposed to be connected via Bluetooth or whatever. And so many of them are difficult to set up or they don't work. And oh my gosh, it was so easy to set up. Getting the phone to connect with a turntable, it was like nothing. It was like nothing. It was amazing. So I love, love, love that. If the app didn't work, that wouldn't be very exciting to me, I guess, but the app does work. You can do everything from, you know, kind of for lack of a better term, manually turn the turntable by just pressing the left or right button on your phone or your tablet, whatever you're using to control this, to actually doing like a full-on automated thing where your phone is taking photos at whatever interval you choose. So there are several different options. I was using at 24 photos per rotation. And yeah, it was awesome. And then after that, it creates a package for you. It creates a package of things. And I actually wrote down the package of things that it creates because it creates several items for you to choose from. You can, first of all, you can actually get this off of your device easily just by emailing it because it's a zip file that it creates. So it includes all of the individual pictures, an MP4 of the full rotation, and a JPEG film strip, plus an animated GIF. I can't believe it creates all those things. I was able to email the zip file, which is great. And yeah, I just can't say enough good things about the app. It was really easy to use. You can also do things like change your exposure, and like I said, manually make the turntable turn. So those are all my questions, except the one last one is like, well, why would I want this? Why would I use this? Is this something that I need in my studio? Of course, it depends on like what your goals are and what you do. However, this is something that I'm really glad that I have because one, I can use it in the pursuit of my art, right? I can take pictures of my Lego Boba Fett and I can take photos of this meteorite collection that I've had for so many years and I haven't done these photos of it. This project that I've had in my head for so many years, I can finally do it because I actually have the tools to do it now. But also, this is a really good like documentary tool. So for me, I do a lot of gear reviews, right? I have a gimbal in here with an integrated camera, which you'll see a review on that soon. And the reason that it's in there is because I was doing photos of this thing and the 360, view for the review. So anything that you might need, your cameras, if you just like to collect things and you want a full document of all of them, you've got it. It's all set up right here. And it's pretty much a self-contained thing that you can tuck away in the closet when you don't need it. So that's it, everybody. Those are all the questions that you asked. I really appreciate you asking questions because you asked some things that I wouldn't even have thought of. So next time I do a review, I will be doing the same thing. And if you guys want to check this thing out, there's a link down below in the description. And if you have any other questions about it, let me know. Talk to you guys soon.